We all live inside a collective lie called I am just too busy right now. You look at your phone, see that little glowing circular avatar next to your last message, and notice the timestamp from 5 hours ago. You tell yourself they are swamped at work, that their phone is buried in a bag, or that they are driving through heavy traffic. We build elaborate, comforting architectural monuments of excuses just to shield our egos from a brutally simple reality. Nobody in the digital age is too busy to type 3 words or tap a single pre-baked emoji. They are not trapped under a fallen boulder. They are not performing open heart surgery. They just looked at your text, weighed the mental energy required to construct a response against the current value of your presence in their life, and chose silence. The seen receipt is not a glitch in the software. It is a diagnostic tool for your actual standing in their hierarchy of human connections. Think about how we navigate our own screens every single day. When a message flashes from someone who holds power over our career, our finances, or our deepest emotional desires, what do? We clear our throats, we drop what we are doing, and we type a response within 90 seconds. Our thumbs fly across the glass because the stakes are too high to risk looking distant. But when the notification comes from someone we take for granted, someone we know will always be waiting around like an old piece of furniture, the psychology shifts completely. We swipe the notification upward to make it vanish. We leave it marinating in the background. We tell ourselves we will get back to it later, which is the polite, internal euphemism for this matters so little that it can wait until I am completely bored. It is an unspoken exercise of social leverage, a quiet demonstration of who holds the upper hand in the dynamic. Then comes the evolution of the ultimate brush-off, the minimalist icon. A single blue thumbs up, a yellow smiley face, or a cold, solitary heart. These are the modern tombstones of meaningful conversation. They require exactly 2 taps, one to hold the message, one to select the micrographic. It is the absolute minimum amount of physical effort a human being can exert while still technically remaining inside an application. It is a digital head nod given by a distracted monarch to a peasant passing by. When someone sends you a block of text detailing their day, their anxieties, or their excitement, and you return a single thumbs up icon, you are not communicating. You are building a concrete wall. You are saying, I acknowledge that words were emitted from your direction, and I am applying this generic sticker so that you cannot legally accuse me of ghosting you. It is the corporate compliance of personal relationships. It is sterile, safe, and utterly devoid of friction. We have mastered the art of low-energy maintenance. We want to keep people on the back burner, simmering gently, just in case we need them 3 months from now when our primary options fall through. To keep them there, we cannot completely ignore them, because total silence causes people to wake up and walk away. So instead, we feed them crumbs of minimal effort. We send an automated reaction icon. We view their stories within 10 minutes of posting, but never type a single syllable in the chat box. We are ghosting them in plain sight, keeping our presence felt while keeping our investment at absolute zero. It is a highly efficient, deeply calculated economy of attention where you are being systematically underfunded. Let us look at the anatomy of the excuse itself. The phrase "I forgot to reply" is almost always a fabricated narrative. In a world where our phones are practically glued to our palms, where we check our feeds while standing in elevators, waiting for water to boil, or sitting on the toilet, you do not simply forget a person who matters to you. You forget things that are uninspiring. You forget grocery lists, you forget to water the plastic plants, and you forget to reply to people who do not shift your pulse. The act of forgetting is actually an act of prioritizing. Your brain successfully categorized their message as background noise, filed it under the mental tab of irrelevant data, and moved on to something that actually provided a dopamine hit. The hard truth is that their silence is your answer. It is a loud, clear, unambiguous statement about exactly where you sit on their leaderboard of importance. The realization hurts because it punctures our need for validation. We want to believe our bonds are unique, that the other person is just uniquely overwhelmed by the complexities of modern existence. But if you watch them in a public space, the illusion dissolves instantly. Watch how people interact with their devices at a coffee shop. They are constantly scrolling, typing at lightning speed, smiling at jokes from people who are miles away, completely engaged in 5 parallel digital realities. They have plenty of words for the world, they just ran out of words for you. The space between the reading of your message and the lack of a reply is the exact measurement of your irrelevance in that specific relationship. When you finally stop making excuses, the world becomes cold but remarkably clear. You stop checking the chat window every 20 minutes to see if the typing indicator bubbles appear. You stop rereading your own last text, wondering if your phrasing was too aggressive, too desperate, or too boring. You realize the problem was never the syntax of your sentence. The problem was the recipient. Accepting this is not about becoming bitter or cynical. It is about reclaiming your own currency. Your time, your attention, and your emotional energy are finite resources. Spending them on someone who treats your words like spam mail is a form of self-inflicted bankruptcy. You have to learn to match their energy. If they give you a minimalist icon, give them an empty room. If they give you a 6-hour delay, give them an permanent exit. The final shift happens when you look at that phone screen and feel absolutely nothing. The little scene label stops looking like a rejection and starts looking like an official release paper. They didn't reply because they didn't want to, and that is the most honest feedback they will ever give you. You finally stop waiting for the text that was never going to be written, and you close the tab. You realize that the people who want to talk to you will always find a way, even if they are conquering kingdoms or running corporations. The rest are just making noise with their silence, and it is time you finally turn down the volume. They had enough battery to read your mind, but not enough fingers to type your value.